Hello, it's Ashley here with Healing Magical Souls. Today, I wanted to talk to you about birth chart basics. If you're not sure what a birth chart is, that's okay. I'll talk about that today. I personally love astrology, and when I learned about birth charts, I was blown away. When I had a birth chart reading, I was like, wow, this is mind-blowing how everything can connect together. And when I did my birth chart party, for somebody that was having a birthday party. She invited all of her close friends, and I got to go through each of their charts. It was so much fun. It gave me like the power and wisdom and the proof, and I'm more of like I need to see it on paper and know that it's true, and it's so amazing because that's what it does, but it's so magical at the same time. So I thought I would share my screen today. Let's see here. Share. And we'll talk about what a birth chart is. So if you go onto astro.com, or you could go to any other birth chart places like Cafe is one of them, and I can't think of all the others, but Astro is like the big one that all of us use. You can type in your information. It has your name, your birthday, what time, where you were born. And if you don't know about the time of your birth, that's okay. If you have your birth certificate, it should say it on there. So you type in your information, and then it will generate something that looks like this. And this is what the birth chart looks like. So after you type in all your information here on the top left, it will generate it for you. And these are where the planets were at the exact time that you were born. So that's why the birth time is important. If you don't know exactly what time you were born, if you can get something generally in that ballpark, within 2 hours is okay. It might not be exactly dead on to you and who you are, but as long as you have something kind of close to it, I think you might have a chart that might make sense to you. But that's why they just say if you can do your exact time, that would be more ideal. So for the birth chart, if you look at it, there are 12 houses here. So the first house is right here. You can see this number two, number three. They look like little pie cuts. So that is your houses. And when you look at the outer part here, these are the symbols. So you can see here's a moon, there's Pluto, the true node, and so on. So these are the planets. And if you go on the left side here, there is a guide to the planets, and I know it's really hard to see. So I personally copied and pasted that and made it bigger, and I have a notebook with all of my planets so I can see them bigger. Because sometimes when I'm looking at that little chart, I'm like, what planet is that? Like, they kind of look the same, like Mercury and Venus are the same. It's just Mercury has like little devil horns where Venus doesn't. And so it's kind of hard to see. So that's what I personally did. And then there's these little numbers next to it, and those are the degrees. These lines on the chart, they're called aspects. And as you can see, it's like the moon has a line over here to Jupiter, and then it has like one kind of over here to Saturn, and those are all talking about aspects. There's um, ones that are called conjunction, sextile, square, trine, opposition, and those are all still a little complicated for me, even though I've been trying to do all this research and learn about it. I'm still trying to learn about the aspects. Um, so that's just a work in progress. But then if you look on the outer part of this wheel, you'll probably recognize most of these symbols. Those are the zodiac signs. And it's not necessarily goes off of your zodiac sign right away on where you're born. Like, for example, I'm an Aries, and my Aries is at the top. And my Cancer's right here, which is part of the first house, but really I'm an Aries. So it's not like Aries has to be there just because I'm an Aries. It's just how the chart is laid out. And on this left side too, you can tell, you can see in the blue, it has like ARI, that's Aries, and LIB, the Libra, and it has all of them listed there. And you can kind of see the little numbers that go with it. It tells you like the degrees. Um, and also down here, there's another chart that you could look at for like the sun. You can go down and see, you know, where it's located and for the ascending, descending, where it is with like Pluto or Saturn or whatnot. So this is another way you can look at the chart. I never really knew that until recently when I was watching a video and I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. It's almost easier at times if you want to look at the aspects part of it to look at this bottom part here that's like a triangle because that to me is a lot easier to look at and read than to look at these lines and where they're located. And then they have this like little square that talks about the earth, fire, water elements. So if you wanted to look at the elements and where your planets lie in that, that's also a little cheat sheet there. So for the readings, I feel like it's really cool because you look at the planets, what zodiac sign, and you can tell somebody's personality off of each one. And a lot of people like to look at the sun signs. The sun is like right here at the top for me. That can tell you about somebody's core qualities. If you ever hear anyone talk about the moon sign, which mine's at the bottom, it's telling you about your emotional behaviors. A lot of people look at the rising sign. You can tell mine's in Cancer. I don't have anything in my first house, no planets, and that's okay if there are no planets. It just kind of depends on what time of year you were born in. So if there's no planets in those houses, that's completely fine. We all have houses that are empty. And then as you can see, some of my houses, I have multiple. I have like three in this one and two in that one. And the charts that I've been looking at lately, for this time, so if somebody's born within the last few weeks, it's so wild to see the chart because all the planets are on like one side and they just kind of rotate, and it's so cool to see where they're at that moment. And it's so interesting to see just how it all comes together. And there's so much to it, and it's so overwhelming at first, but once you start to learn the basics, and at least if you can be like, okay, so I have my sun in Aries, what does that mean? Or I have my sun in the 10th house in Aries, what does that mean? And then you can go online and Google or your Chat GPT or whatever you want to do. You can start to learn a little bit about what that house is and what that symbol means and what the planet means. And you can start to slowly put it together. That's what I first did. And I've been trying to listen to like videos and stuff. And I finally found somebody that I really like that puts everything together so smoothly. And it's just so cool to see how she does that. Another thing I forgot to mention is there's these darker lines. It's your ascending and descending. There's this other one that goes kind of up and down. It's your midheaven, and those lines mean something also. So you can look at if you're like, oh, my midheaven is in my ninth house in what is this, Pisces, then I can look online and see what that means. And then I can say, oh, well, I do have my true note in there too. What does that mean? And so it's really cool when you start to put it all together. And I think that kind of sums it up for today. I didn't want to go into too many hard things because it's so much to look at and it's hard to kind of wrap your mind around at first. It's just like, whoa, what is that thing? And so I just wanted to share some basics with you. I hope this was helpful, and I will put out some more videos on different aspects and what they mean and what the planets mean and all kinds of fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.